Let's talk a little bit with Nancy, and here we are. First, can you believe it? The first week of the new year done under our belts. But Nancy Cahalen with us here to talk about some of our New Year's resolutions when it comes to don't get scammed. Nancy, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, I think one thing we can advise, regardless of the attempt, whether it be a text or an email or a phone call, don't kill your husband.
Oh my
Okay, it's probably a
gosh.
scam. Yeah, yeah.
Holy
So we
cow.
didn't get that report to Scam Tracker,
Yeah.
but I think there's some other issues there
Woo.
other than
Yeah.
just a scammer.
I know. I mean, my goodness, right? If you were with us at the top of the hour, that story out of Townsend is just absolutely crazy. But it did start out as a scam that is so familiar to us from what you've told us about, Nancy, where somebody was pretending to be somebody else and they were bilking this 64-year-old Townsend woman out of money. The story in the paper actually said that her husband had been the victim of some sort of scam where he lost like $8,000. So, yes, you're right. Most of them don't go as far as, hey, you ought to get rid of your husband. But it started off as a scam that's I've said I recognize this. This is a scam where you think it's something that it's not, and they're just going to keep. And it even said that, right? They just kept coming back for more and more and more.
Yeah, that's what they do until you say no. So, yeah, it really when you get something like that, just not engaging with them at all. Some people try to be heroes and they want to be smart and talk back. That's not a good idea. These scammers know who you are, and you don't know who they are. So they
Yeah.
have the upper hand. So it's best to just don't engage. Block them however you can on your phone. You can block a text, you can block an email, and just move on. So this is a very unfortunate situation here, and there's a lot more at play than an attempted scam. But it just shows you um, how
Oh.
things can go with these scammers and their messaging.
So
So
this is where now just here's our New Year's resolutions, if you will, of what to be on the lookout for, so we don't get put in this situation.
exactly. So the first one is I resolve to be cautious with email. So be very wary of unsolicited emails from a person or a company. Remember, scammers may make emails look like they're from a legitimate business or a government agency or a reputable organization, even the Better Business Bureau. So never click on links or open attachments in unsolicited emails. So I believe, was this an email or a text how this started? But it's unsolicited.
Yeah.
So, we would have been able to avoid this from the very start by following that first resolution.
Absolutely, and I've got one actually in my inbox that I just had this morning, and it this is what they do. Of course, I mean, it looks legit, but I'm like, why would this person be sending this to me? And they have this link, and I'm going, I don't. There's just something fishy about this. I don't want to click on this link because I think that's going to lead to trouble.
Yeah, that was very good judgment. So number two is never send money to strangers. So I think that's an easy one.
Yeah.
We should be able to stick to that resolution. If you haven't met a person face to face, don't send them money. This is especially true if the person asks you to transfer funds using like a prepaid debit card or a Cash App, Venmo, something like that. Money sent to strangers this way is untraceable, and once you send it, there's no way to get it
Yeah.
back. So scammers, they'll try to trick you into panicking, so you make the move before you really think it through. Don't fall for it.
Yeah, that's the thing that you've told us about is as well. They really will put the pressure on you, and you just have to have the resolve to say nope. And even if you want to check it out, as you said, sometimes even if you just say, hey, Why don't you give me the number? I'll call you back, and you find out pretty quickly that, boy, they want nothing to do with that, and that's another red flag.
Right. The more questions you ask, um, you're bound to ask too many questions, and they just move on to an easier mark. So, and talking about online payments, our number three resolution is I resolve to do research before making online payments and purchases. So, if you research the retailer before entering your payment information when you're shopping online, that's going to solve a lot of problems. So, ask: is this person or business somebody I know and trust? Do they have a working customer service number? Where is the company physically located? So a lot of the complaints we receive are about these websites. There's no physical address. There's no way of reaching people. That the only opportunity to contact them is by making an order and giving them your credit card information. So, you know, would I be making payments through a secure server? That's another thing. Does it have that HTTPS? Um, and have I checked it out to see if others have complained about them? So do your research, and you'll solve a lot of problems right from the get go.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, so far, Nancy, all of these seem in our New Year's resolutions to be pretty common sense.
They do, but the scammers are tricky. They try to panic you. They try to these clever schemes, and you just need to see through to these red flags. These are common red flags in all the scams that we see. The fourth one, I resolve to use my best judgment when sharing my personal information. Slow down. Think about it. Sharing sensitive personal information with scammers opens the door to identity theft. You don't want that. That is a really hard thing to recover from. So never share your financial information, your birth date, your address, your social security number, your Medicare number with an unsolicited caller. So these are very important things. This information is very valuable to them.
Yeah, it sure is, and that's what they are fishing for. All right, what is our final resolution here for the new year?
Here's gonna. This is a tough one. Okay, number five. I resolve to be social media smart. Um, Use your privacy settings on social media and only connect with people you know. It seems like people are trying to build a wide audience. Why? Uh, you're just opening yourself up to scammers and fraud. Be careful about including personal information in your profile, and never reveal your address or other sensitive information, even in one of those fun quizzes. You've gotten those. What's your first, teacher, your first car? These are all things that we use in our secret questions with the bank, so they know it's us. Yeah. Scammers use this information to make themselves pass as friends or relatives and earn your trust. So when you got that message from somebody and you said, "Why are they sending me this?" It probably wasn't them. That person
Exactly.
either had their social media hacked or their email hacked, and they were contacting that person's contacts pretending to be them, because that was someone you would trust. Be very careful buying products you see on social media. We've received thousands of complaints about misleading Facebook and Instagram ads. So be very careful when you're purchasing through social media.
Yeah, and I mean, this one was one of those actually because I just went back to grab it here. Is this you in this video? As if, as if I'm on video somewhere doing something, I don't know, funny, weird, or or that I shouldn't supposed to be. And it's like, well, yeah, why would somebody and it is a person that I know, and it's like, yeah, this isn't them. I am convinced that it is not them. So we just have to make sure that we are keeping our wits about us here before we click on something, because Nancy, you're just opening up your email and you're just kind of going along with your first emails of the day. It's easy to click on things.
Very easy. And as we talked about before, the youth are much more prone to be victimized by scams because they're so fast. So slow down a minute, think about what you're doing, look for those red flags. And kudos to you, Hank, because that would have been an easy one to fall for. But clearly, they're presenting themselves as this person you know. They've either hacked their social media or their email, and they've sent the same message out to probably hundreds of
Yeah.
people. And I would be interested. Oh, a video? What's this? So you just need to make sure you use your cyber smarts and slow down before you click.
Very, very true. Nancy, best place for people to kind of keep up to date with all of these resolutions.
Well, if you want to learn more about scams, you can go to bbb.org/scam tips. That's all one word, no space. And to avoid scams, it's bbb.org/avoid scams. So those are two easy places to go. There's tons of information there. And bbb.org, lots of information every day, all day.
Thank you, Nancy. And look for past episodes at radioworcester.com.